Hey guys, what's going on? Before I start this video, I want to remind everybody to check out my Instagram page. It's Michael Sabo 350. On that page, you're going to find a lot of cool stuff. You're going to find some before and afters of projects that I did before I even started this channel, things that are coming up in upcoming videos, and what's going on in this shop, plus some other cool pictures. And I'm starting to include your own guys' projects. So if you're doing a project and you want to send it in, shoot me an email at michaelsabo350@gmail.com, and I'll see if I can post it up on my Instagram for you. Once again, it's Michael Sabo 350. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I really want to give a special thanks to everybody that followed this build, especially if you followed it in its entirety. Those of you that did watch this in its entirety, you know this was a long build. There were a lot of surprises and things that we didn't know about with this thing, and finally, as you can see, it's all complete. Now, for you guys that did follow this project in its entirety, I'm sure you remember the trials and errors that I went through with this thing. You know, I bought this quad not running. I didn't really know what I was getting into. And even the previous owner told me that he had no idea what was wrong with this thing. And he even had it at a mechanic. And it would run for a little bit, and then it would intermittently stop and start, which are the worst kind of problems. And the diagnosis was just a real pain in the butt. A lot of electrical things we went through, and essentially ended up going over just about every single electrical component on this quad, which in the end is awesome because now I know everything's really good. And what it turned out to be was a bad crank bearing, which was seizing up. The quad would run for a little bit, then it would seize, run for a little bit, and seize. So we ended up throwing a brand new crank in there. So really what I want to do today is give you guys a couple before and afters, because I know when I'm watching shows like Overhauling and Counts Customs, that's what I'm looking forward to. I know that's what a lot of you guys are looking forward to too. You know, have these old busted up hot rods, and then you get to see what they become. Really cool to see the befores and afters and see it right next to each other. So that's what I'd like to give you today. Unfortunately, I don't have too many pictures of the before project. I really wish I did. But we do have a lot of the stuff from now going forward, of course. And I'm going to have a lot of cool shots when I take this thing up the Poconos and we rip it at the coal mines. But I have a couple more shoots that I want to do before I do that, because this thing is going to get super muddy up there and get coal all over it, and it's never going to look this good again unless I redo the whole thing over again. So that's what I'd like to do today. And I'd also like to show you my spreadsheet, because everybody's asking me about my expenses for this thing. I do have all my expenses broken down, at least in terms of parts. The only thing I don't have factored in is my time, which would make this project out of proportion with prices, but that's beside the point. This was supposed to be a fun project to make videos for you guys. Okay guys, so without further ado, I'm going to give you the before and after shots, and then we'll get to the spreadsheet. Alright, so here we are. This is my expense spreadsheet. I believe I have everything included in here. I looked it over a couple times. It's possible that I missed one or two small items, but you can see here on the left are all the parts that I bought for this quad. Got the fat bars, the fat bar risers, steering bushing, grab bar, battery, graphics, tires, air filter, parking brake block off, reverse switch fix, that's that little metal plate that goes under the switch because it was cracked, spark plug, oil filter, wire relay, ECU. Now this says balance after sold. That is because I bought an aftermarket ESU for this thing because I thought the ECU was actually bad, but it turned out to be okay, so I put the stock one back on, and it was too late to return the ECU. So I had to resell it on eBay, and I took a loss of 74 bucks. So I did factor that into my expenses. Then we have the stator, that came with the crank position sensor, our new crank, main bearing, gasket kit, and then it goes on for the CP piston, battery tray, timing chain, new chain and sprockets, sprocket bolt, it was missing one in the back, hour meter, chain slide. Now this is actually not on the quad yet. I got a TM chain slide. That's in the mail. It should be coming tomorrow. I want to have that on there because I don't know if you could hear in the last video, but it's worn all the way through. I should have bought that before. The nice thing is that thing will go on. You don't have to remove the swing arm to put the new chain slide on. But anyways, then the CNC engine plugs. Those are those blue plugs that go in the side of the stator cover with the flywheel. Our clutch kit, and I included paint also for the primer, base coat, and clear coat that I put on the hood and the lights and the tank cover. So the total for parts is $1,398.64. And up here I have unincluded costs. Now I didn't include these in the costs only because they weren't necessary, and tools I don't like to include in the cost of the build. It's just an investment. So I have the second crank, which that was a folly because if you guys remember, I ordered a crank from a company. And it took like 36 days for it to get here, and I wasn't hearing anything back from them. So I decided I wasn't going to waste any more time. Went and bought one from a reputable company, and then the second crank, or the original crank actually that I had ordered, ended up coming in the mail. So I do have two cranks. This one is listed for sale on eBay. If anybody's interested in that, it's a brand new Hot Rods crank in the box. Haven't even opened it. I would sell it for 300 bucks shipped. Anyways, also we have a second main bearing because you guys know I kind of flubbed up and smacked the inner race of that main bearing, which is a no-no. Even though that bearing may have been okay, took the safe route and replaced it with another main bearing. So I didn't include the cost of two bearings, just the one. And last but not least, the crank tools, the crank installer and remover, and the case splitter was $117.38. I consider that just a shop investment, not actually a part of the build. So I didn't include that either. Total number there is $482.70. Now the cost of the quad was $1,800 bucks. So if you include the cost of the quad and the cost of the parts, it's just under $3,200 at $3,198.64. Really not bad for a really nice 07 Raptor with a clean title, and it's basically ready to rock and roll, pretty much 100%. If it wasn't for some small cosmetic defects, this thing would basically be a brand new quad. If you include the total investment, so that includes the stuff up here, I'm at $3681.34. Still not that bad. The only thing is I have like 1,000 hours into this thing, but that's beside the point. All right, guys, so I'm going to call it there. I want to thank everybody once again for following my projects, following my YouTube channel. We're getting close to 10,000 subscribers here. Absolutely stoked about it. Remember to check out my Instagram, Michael Sabo 350. Lots of cool stuff on there. I'm trying to grow that channel as well so I can give you guys more cool content. Also, if you enjoyed this content, please give me a thumbs up. Remember to comment below. I always appreciate your comments. I'm trying to get better with responding to comments. I've just been getting overwhelmed with every different form that people are contacting me. You know, you got to remember I have my email, I got my Instagram, I got my Facebook, plus YouTube. So I'm trying to keep up with that. If I didn't get to your questions or I didn't answer something for you, I do apologize, but I'm trying to get to everything that I possibly can. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one.